You don't have to.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang out with Craig tonight.
You can hang out, Craig.
And we are live.
All right. Well then. Yeah, make sure you guys silence your cell phones, and we are being recorded. And let's start with the pledge. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So, I'm going to start with the public hearing. For the Restore New York funding that we're applying for.
Hey guys, how are ya? Excuse me.
Dan, you ready to read it aloud?
You got it. Public hearing number 1. The Village of Homer anticipates applying to New York State for funding under the Restore New York Round 5 funding program on or about December $1 million. Project includes the properties 23 South Main Street, formerly known as the Ames Building, and 13 South Main Street, also known as the Barber Block.
It's one funding amount, but it's $650,000 out of that $1 million being allocated towards this block, and the other $350,000 is going towards the second and third floor residential renovations to the Barber Block. It is a completely reimbursable grant. Nobody gets any money until the products are completely done, and they
Grant, and they apply through us to get it, right?
well, that's what they're doing, right? You're the sponsor. You're basically just being the sponsor and the pass-through.
And what amount of control do we have over their design and what they build?
Well, I don't know if complete, but
Right.
yes, the you'll have to go through site plan. Projects will also have to go through the State Historic Preservation Office review, and so they're going to make sure that, for instance, any new building built is historically consistent with the downtown area. I don't know if you've seen the a wood clapboard building just because the masonry is so expensive, but it's certainly a massing, sizing, design that is
Right.
completely compatible with their historic district.
Excellent.
And the Barber Block is actually leveraging historic preservation tax credits, so they're going through a very stringent review that's going to have to preserve a lot of the interior details.
Right.
Which is one reason they needed some extra money, because
Right.
the SHPO review, because of design issues, they had to reduce the number of units that they can do by 25%. They were going to do 4 per each floor, but in order to meet the SHPO requirements, preserve features and walls, they could only get in 3 per floor. So that obviously created a fiscal deficit in the income stream.
Right. Excellent. And I saw that Ames or Yeaman got what 200 and some thousand today.
Yes.
240 for that building, which is good.
Because it's in our budget. So if you didn't get it, I'd have a lot of work to do tonight.
Yeah. Right.
So.
Excellent. Let's and then I did see that we got the second round of the micro enterprise grant.
Yes, you'll be getting a grant award on that letter probably sometime in the next few weeks, and there's a certain amount of paperwork you'll have to put together for them to process that.
Okay.
I'm sure Dan can handle it, but we certainly are available to help out to get you to your grant agreement.
Okay, perfect. Anyone else care to say anything?
I'm all for it.
All right.
Do we need to vote on it?
We have a resolution in the new
Yep.
business later on.
Oh, okay.
Any need for me to wait?
No.
Okay. Not that I don't enjoy spending time with you. But.
I know. No, you can take off.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Okay, let's jump right into the regular meeting if you guys don't mind. first thing we gotta do is approve the minutes from last month.
Just a typo, but, instead of the end, it should be in, but I'm not gonna hold this up on it.
I didn't have any squiggly lines. I'll go back through. Yeah, this is the Rob Sand Drive minutes, so.
Yeah.
That's quite a, that's not gonna fit in the Homer News.
Yeah, I just saw one part where it was, you had an ant where it was supposed to be any. I was like, I'm not gonna hold you up on that one.
I'll have to hunt for it.
Alright, any comments, questions?
No, very extensive, that was a,
Kind of a tough one to document.
yeah. But, I'll make the motion to accept the minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Alright. Treasurer's reports. Now, we've been going over these pretty regularly in the, budget hearing, and we will continue to do that, so. Authorization of the payment of bills.
I'll make the motion.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous?
Just for comment, it's 69K this month. And when we start looking at reserves, they say 2 months worth, or 10%. So our projected possibly 300K reserve is gonna be very significant and probably proper, given that there is a month at only 70K, and I can't remember what we did last month.
Right.
So we're probably very well positioned with 300K.
Well, this is without salaries too, right?
Oh, no, it's gotta be all the funds, right?
You know, these are all the bills, so it's
Oh,
all
just bills, it's not wages.
right.
Oh, so it'd be higher, obviously,
Yep.
okay.
Alrighty. Starting off with codes.
How are we doing on our list that we had for all the properties that you're looking at?
The vacant?
Yeah, and all the other issues where we had, it's not here.
The complaints.
Well,
Yeah,
there's,
the complaints
yeah,
list.
they've all
How we
pretty
doing?
much been addressed, and, the latest one I had was down on Albany Street that I keep stopping by, and I don't see any vehicles there when I stop by, so that's,
That's
parking on
10,
the lawn.
yeah.
So it's hard to do anything with that, but I do come in here at different times, like when I come in for my evening meetings, I'll stop by as well as in the morning. Other than that, there was no, complaints this past month.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
I think the landlord gave them a really stern final warning before you showed up.
Yeah, it must
With
be,
the
because
fear
there
guy.
hasn't been anything that I've seen there.
Yeah, yeah. And I didn't see any tracks in the snow that made it look like they were doing it anymore, so.
So that list is actually working pretty well then.
Yeah,
I like it.
and December's usually my month, late November, and December is where I go through and all the permits throughout the year. Nobody ever calls me for inspections and stuff, so I have to drive around and do all the inspections for the permits for the year to tie them up, which I've been doing a lot of, so.
Did,
That'll be in my December report.
did 98 James ever get their act together?
I don't know. What were they doing?
That major remodeling that they got the grant money for?
But they didn't get the
They
permit.
were operating without a permit.
Oh, that's what, I chased him out, talking to him about that some more. No,
They still haven't done it?
no, but he said, again, he promised me he'd go back to the office and talk to him tomorrow
Okay,
and see if we can't get something done.
alright.
How much longer before FHN is done?
It is.
It is done?
I've gotta redo their certificate of occupancy. I gave them their certificate, but on their permit, they listed, I forget what the address is, but it was a series of different numbers, something to 85, like, but the office called and they asked me if I'd just give them one, because they changed it to one. It had 3 different numbers, and now that it's finished, it only has 1 number. No big deal, it's just a change of paperwork. Yeah, it came out pretty nice, they seem to be happy.
Did you, we were a little confusion last time. That's a nonprofit, right? They're not paying taxes.
I'm not really sure, I don't get into that part of it, but it's a medical building.
It's offices for the medical.
Correct.
Yeah. So there's gonna be no like doctors in there, is what I was trying to say.
Yeah, but it's the organization.
It's like a billing,
I'm pretty sure it's a not-for-profit.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep.
but again, you know, even so, there's a lot of people that are in those offices that'll stop by businesses in
Yeah.
town and buy things in town,
Yeah.
diners and the stores.
it's all
down
good,
here.
yeah.
I mean, they may not pay taxes, but they'll patronize,
Right.
you know, maybe bring their families for a meal or go to Homer Men and Boys or something.
Excellent.
Just add on, I know Craig has handed off the list to the fire department for placarding of buildings and checking up on that. I don't think we've had any issues lately with buildings being non-maintained, so I think that's
It's
a,
easier this time of year, you don't have to mow.
yeah, now we just gotta watch about the sidewalks.
Yeah.
And then just for everybody to know, there was no code book revision committee meetings for December. We're taking December off. We'll start back up in January of 2018. Craig was really disappointed about that, but I just.
Sure. Merry Christmas.
All right.
I'll make a motion, we accept it as written.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
You guys
All
need-
right.
Need me for anything else?
I'm gonna take a moment and think about that before I say no. I don't think so.
Nothing about the projects down here, I don't know anything about them anyway.
Yeah, there's still, you will soon, you'll know more than you want to soon, but, yeah, no, I don't think they're ready for that yet. No, I think we're all set. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Craig.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Same to you, Bob. Same to you.
Yeah.
All right, no dog report. We'll skip right over to the DPW. Planted a whole bunch of trees,
I got 2 of them and they're great.
33. That's fantastic.
Mike, I hate to put you on the spot, but do you know what the different types of trees were for some of them?
They're all different. I don't have the list with me, but I can certainly give you that if you need that.
I'll get with you later.
Yeah.
It was in, the bills.
It was in the bills?
Yeah,
Okay, I'll look
and
at
they,
it.
they had,
There's a whole list.
corn bean, they had tulip popper, they had red oak,
Yep.
they had, red maple, which I thought I was getting a hard maple, but that's okay.
Those are the two, we gave you the two that you guys picked out.
I thought
Right.
that's what they were over there.
Yeah.
That's what you guys told me.
Yeah, we
That
gave
they
you the
were hard
two
maple, but
you picked out.
It said red maple, so I says, okay. I probably will never see them
Can't you be happy with
grow.
what you
I
got?
am happy, they're perfectly done. The guys came over, took an hour to put
I
them
know,
in,
they did
those
a nice
guys were
job.
amazing. And there's 6 of them on our street there.
Now, keep in mind, our guys planted some too, so
Okay.
D&L planted 26 of them, the rest of them we did for right now. We're gonna do a few more too, so, I mean, between everything else we have right now, so.
Getting trees planted back, keeps our village looking good.
Got a
Yes,
couple
way
peach trees and pear
important.
trees?
No peach trees and pear trees, no.
No fruit trees. All right.
Good job. I won't bitch.
How's your gas can coming for high test gas? Is that almost ready?
He was supposed to be here this week, but I would suspect with the weather, you mean to change the tank over for gas?
Yeah, so
Right.
police
I
cars
mentioned
don't
it in
die.
there. I did contact him, he was gonna be here Monday, but I suspect with the weather, they held up, so.
And I'm gonna guess if you use it in your lawnmowers, they'll last longer too.
Exactly.
Without that ethanol.
Lawnmowers,
which
police
is
cars,
sad.
right.
Oh, it's ethanol free?
It better be.
filled my bike
That's
up.
what's been killing our engines and the police cars.
Yes, it is. But it's also ruining a lot of our small engines. We've got 2 portable pumps down right now for the fire department. It's just rust at the bottom of the gas tank, so.
And that, of course, the fire department mostly is probably diesel, I'm guessing.
Well,
Big trucks and
all the
stuff are,
small
yeah.
stuff is gas, so.
Okay, but
Well,
the
they'll use that too, I
chainsaws.
hope.
small
Yeah.
equipment is,
Excellent.
yeah, we've talked
I'm
about
all
it.
for it.
Very good.
All for it.
Yeah, I mentioned that in there, I think, someplace, didn't I?
Yeah. Mike, is there anything else you wanna highlight?
I need Dante to find in codes, I mentioned a code about, the sidewalk shoveling, that the residents, the homeowners are responsible for shoveling the
Yeah.
sidewalk, but there's also a code for, about shoveling snow or pushing snow into our roads. And I haven't been able to find it, I kinda like to be able to find it, and
That's a New York State law.
I've got people that shovel snow into the road, and I've got people that snow blow into the road, and I've got some plow trucks that push it into the road, and I'd kinda like to walk up to their door and have the code in hand when I,
Yeah, I'll look for that.
Making sure you're not looking too closely at me when you say that. 'Cause I don't know. I try not to.
that's funny, cause Devin said, did you know the mayor pushes some of his snow out in the road? No.
I try not to. I really do.
Well, while we're at it then, why don't we just remind everybody that according to Village Code 194-3, it's the responsibility of the owner of the land in the village to keep any sidewalks therein free of ice and snow, poles, obstructions, and other conditions hazardous to the users of the sidewalks and in good repair. Property owners and occupants must remove snow and remedy ice conditions within 24 hours of snowfall or occurrence of condition. So pretty much just make sure you shovel your sidewalks.
Get somebody to do it for
Yeah, I was
you.
gonna say-
And that's what led me, you know, what do we, if we have those that are unable to,
We are helping, I have a lot that are older, and I get that, and we are trying to help them, so. It's not that I'm ignoring it and some of the people, but they can't afford it and they can't do it, so there is a lot out there that we're helping, so.
Is there a penalty attached to that or not?
Yes,
Yeah.
What, does it,
the DPW will plow it and shovel it, and it's
No.
$75 an hour or something.
no, but I know if you don't do it within the 24-hour period, there's a
There-
fine.
There is a fine mentioned in the code book, but I didn't put that in there. And I wanna be careful about that, cause here again, older people, they can't afford $5 or $10 to, you know, have somebody shovel their sidewalk. I just wanna be careful, that's all.
If we'll put something in the Homer News that encourages those
Yeah,
folks that need assistance to call, if they call the village office, we'll keep a running list, and then between you guys and then some of the service organizations, and I know
Yeah.
the schools are looking for some projects for some of their
we got
clubs.
one too right now that needs some hours, so I mean, there's,
Yeah.
that's stuff that comes up all the time, so.
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
so we'll keep a list in the village office.
so we think for our students who are walking to school.
Right.
Not to mention our other residents who enjoy walking around our village.
How did we like the sign at the, recreation office? Are you guys alright with that? I didn't mention anything about that. And
I think it's ample, yeah. it's
Zach's
good.
alright with it.
Zach's-
I know it should be more to what we already have, but let's worry about that as we
We're
go.
fancy here. You know that, right? We're
Yeah.
fancy. You can tell by looking at me, but we're
Well,
fancy.
me too, you can tell, right?
Well, if you're looking for it now, it helps you know where it is.
Yeah.
Right.
So we decided with the Homer News, that, so we do 2 issues a month. One issue is gonna be pretty much the minutes from the board meeting, the other issue will be different things, so we're breaking it up into 4
Oh, good.
squares. You're always gonna have a square, cause you've
Alright.
always got stuff.
Alright.
For that, I'll just pull, for the next issue, I'll just pull right out of your report, cause you've got a whole bunch of things that you're
Yeah.
kinda announcing to the
Good deal.
people.
Good deal.
And I'll make sure that that all gets in there, or as much as I can get in there, cause this is really good.
I'd like to reemphasize that, Mike's got the emailed streetlights that are out. He's got a call into National Grid